Record Store Day is back for 2026. And once again, Status Quo fans have something to look forward to. Now, if you're not familiar with Record Store Day, it is this thing that happens once or twice a year where labels release very special editions of things or new stuff, things that fans of all kinds of music will really like, and they push them out to their independent record stores. And so people queue up outside of these record stores to get these releases, which are in limited supply. There's no online links, there's no internet or anything. It's all pretty much that traditional record buying experience in limited numbers. And Quo have participated in this in many times over the years. In the last couple of years or so, Quo fans have had a lot to be excited about, because last year was an absolute rarity, something we never thought would happen. Last year, there was this incredible release of the first night of the Glasgow Apollo shows from October 1976, released in full for the first time, because that live album that was released around then was made up of 3 nights of recording. And so we got to hear on vinyl, released officially anywhere for the first time, this first night. Now, this was incredibly exciting. Fans got to hear it, they lined up at their record stores, and there was a lot of people afterwards looking on eBay, and there were inflated prices, much bigger than what the record stores were selling them, because there was this huge demand for it. Now, this year, there is a new release, absolutely never been heard before in this quality and in this way. I know there are bootlegs around, but I think they're more of the tape recorder in the audience variety than this, which was a professionally recorded gig. So in 1979, Status Quo were on their If You Can't Stand the Heat tour, and they had the idea, it seems, to record some kind of live album, and they only recorded one night, which was the 26th of June 1979 at the Hammersmith Odeon, which is something of a major draw for Quo fans, because some of their most memorable gigs were performed there. And so this is a gig that apparently had some technical issues, and so therefore nothing got released from it. It sat on the shelf for years, and it was found in recent times in Francis Rossi's library. Andy Gamble, once again, who did a lot of the remixing and stuff on those live tapes, took this and mixed it and everything else, and now this is being released on Demon Records on 2 translucent red LP on the 18th of April, which is Record Store Day. And it's worth noting, there's a few things with this, that this will not be the entire gig, because if you remember, there are certain tracks here that went on for rather a long time. Roadhouse Blues and 4,500 Times. And I've looked it up. I haven't seen the track listing for this release, but it does look very likely that 4,500 Times will probably be omitted from this this vinyl issue, which is fair. Possibly another track, I've heard mutings of Hold You Back as well being omitted from that set list on here. But that doesn't matter, because this is a Quo recording you hadn't heard before, and I also think that this is an interesting point in their history, because there's not really that many recordings of the Frantic Four in existence. There's some from the Reading Festival. There's one track from the early 70s. There's some live TV appearances from the mid-70s, but it's like a couple of tracks. There's those 3 nights at the Glasgow Apollo. Plus, just little bits here and there. There was that 1975 set of concerts they recorded, but only a few tracks survive. And so this is another opportunity to hear pretty much a full concert. And unlike those earlier ones, this is after Rockin' All Over the World, and they have that in this set. There is Down Down here, obviously early favourites as well, which were in the set during those sort of mid to early 70s, like Roll Over, Lay Down. Even Backwater is here, but without Just Take Me. I do wonder sometimes, because I have people say, I look at all of the things people say online, and a lot of it, can be, oh, but it's very similar set list. And actually, there is some different things here that are not on anything else. There will be things like Oh What a Night from the If You Can't Stand the Heat album. Rockers Rollin' is here. There's also an opportunity to hear kind of Dirty Water performed shortly after release as well, if my research is to be believed. This is all very exciting. And when I saw the cover, I love the cover design on this, which I'm looking at right here in front of me. And for my listeners, and my viewers can see it on the screen here, it shows an image of the band performing. And at the top, we have a Status Quo logo. Now, this is the logo pretty much that was used on the If You Can't Stand the Heat album. And so I love that attention to detail. They've not just used a random logo there. And then we have quite a lit up display featuring Rick Parfitt, Francis Rossi, Alan Lancaster, and John Coghlan in the distance there. Now, the thing that really strikes me here is the number of lights. This is, a show that has evolved from the 76 shows. There's also Tokyo Quo from 76 as well. So there's a lot from that period, not too much from this one. And that is what I think makes it exciting. Also, it's got to be one of the first sort of professionally recorded instances of Caroline opening the show. They started using the drone about 1977. So there will be carryover, I'm sure. So yeah, this is exciting. I can't overstate that, because who knew this was coming? Completely different to anything else. We get to see another evolution of the band. Classic Frantic Four fans get to have, another piece of the Frantic Four. And even the general Quo fan can hear some of the hits in here. So, yeah, we have something for everybody in this. So before I go here, a couple of questions I shall answer. Will there be a CD edition of this? Well, knowing the pattern from last year, where the record came out, and then maybe about a month later, there was like a CD set with the full thing on it. I would imagine they're going to do the same thing. I've seen some utterings of around the same time, maybe a week or two after, but I haven't had personal confirmation from Demon Music. I haven't reached out to them and asked. There's only what I've seen written online, but I will update on here when that is announced officially, because there are bound to be other extras to talk about. Secondly, where will you be able to get this vinyl? At your local independent record stores. There is no online link. There's no pre-order. You have to go to wherever you might be and maybe ask if they stock it before you wait outside for hours. Because otherwise that could be disastrous. Imagine waiting all that time and find they don't even have a copy. So check and make sure to try and, show your interest in that. And then after Record Store Day, they will turn up on eBay, sure, but they'll be, I'm sure, at vastly inflated prices. This is something where you just have to grab it on the day. So tell me, will you be picking up this release? I would love to hear your thoughts. Did you go to any one of these shows in 1979 or anything else for that matter? Do you have a favourite song on this set list? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you again for another episode of the Quo-Cast.